What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Grow Old With Us. You throw me off. You need to stop doing that.
No, like...
I get so confused when you do that. I'm like, wait, am I still doing this?
Yeah, that's the way I'm already here when you're done.
All right, we are growing all together and Grow Old With Us. Thank you for checking us out. Okay, so we are going to do top 10 anime where the main character is a supreme being that nobody can defeat. That is a very long title. I'm just saying. Top 10 anime where the main character is a supreme being that nobody can defeat.
She just said supreme being.
All right. Anime. Let's go.
So we're going to see. We may know or we may not know some of these. Even though
I probably won't know any of them because I didn't know any of them with the gruesome ones.
I ingest a lot. But at times that causes me to kind of forget certain ones because I just kind of be like, hey, it looks familiar, but I kind of forgot the name. So she doesn't ingest as much as I do.
I'll put this on LG's too if you want. Because we did the other one on LG's. Okay.
Remember, shifting everything away. Oh, right. So she doesn't ingest as much as I do. So she ingests like what's popular, you know what I'm saying? You know, she's one of them type, you know. I don't know that one. What is that? Let me look on my anime group and see if it's suggested. Let me go on my Facebook real quick.
That is not what I do. There's a ton of anime that
Hey, starting.
Characters that can defeat pretty much anyone. Characters that can take people out with one single punch. Oh. Characters that can fly and even become gods themselves seemingly out of nowhere. They're just way too powerful for their own good. So welcome back to Animeology, and today we will show you a collection of anime characters who have so much strength, mentally and physically, that it's just ridiculous. But keep in mind, today's video will not include any popular titles. Today's video will feature lesser-known animes which share the same theme. Before we begin, be sure to drop a like and subscribe down below for more anime top 10s and...
World Trigger!
Let's get right into the video. Number 10. Blood Lad.
Heard of it, never watched it.
From its exterior, Blood Lad looks like just another cliche vampire anime. But in actuality, it's one of the best anime I've ever watched. Even though this anime contains the classic ecchi female and overpowered male protagonists, do not judge this series by its cover. The basic plot of the series is as follows. The vampire Staz is one of the most powerful district bosses in the demon world, fending off everyone who dares challenge him. But secretly, the fearsome Staz is obsessed with human culture, especially video games, manga, and honestly, everything that comes from Japan. When a Japanese girl wanders into the demon world, Staz can't wait to meet the human and learn everything he can about her world. Unfortunately, before he's able to ask her anything, the girl is killed by one of his would-be usurpers, leaving just her bare soul behind. Staz vows to help the girl restore her body and return to her former life, especially since it means taking a trip to the human world himself. Number 9. Zettai Kata & Children, the unlimited Kyosuke Haobu.
I've never heard of this one.
I've seen this one.
Here we have.
Yep.
This
is dope. This is a dope
very
one.
long name. However, it just lasts 12 episodes. As the title says, the main character is Kyosuke Haobu. He is the leader of Pandra, and his entire team was killed by his superior, so he felt betrayed. Kyosuke Haobu is an Esper who was betrayed many years ago, and is now one of the most powerful Espers, and...
Game chair. We can't
also
afford.
a fugitive.
$900.
However, behind that glare lies a kind heart. His main mission is to save Espers who are mistreated by humans, even if that be by force. Through his methods, he has saved many Espers' lives and gained the loyalty of those he saves. The name of his group is Pandra. This is one of the best anime I've ever seen. It's full of action, and sometimes it can give you suspense, but the thing I liked about it maybe the most is a message I think found in this show. It doesn't matter what you are, what you believe in, or what you think is wrong or right. Everyone should have the same right to live as an ordinary person. Number 8, World Trigger.
See, we know this one. We actually plan on
When a
watching
gate
the
to
new
another
season
world
over here.
suddenly opens on Earth, Mikado City is invaded by
Yes.
strange creatures known as neighbors, malicious beings impervious to traditional weaponry. In response to their arrival, an organization called the Border Defense Agency has been established to combat the neighbor menace through special weapons called triggers. Even though several years have passed after the gate first opened, neighbors are still a threat, and members of the border remain on guard to ensure the safety of the planet. Despite this delicate situation, members in training, such as Osamu Mikumo, are not permitted to use their triggers outside of headquarters. But when the mysterious new student in his class is dragged into a forbidden area by bullies, they are attacked by neighbors, and Osamu has no choice but to do what he believes is right. Much to his surprise, however, the transfer student, Yuma Kuga, makes short work of the aliens, revealing that he is a humanoid neighbor in disguise. Number 7, the God of High School.
Okay, I kind of feel like those scenes should have been up on the screen that he was talking about.
Not just that, but they only mentioned him for like a millisecond out of the entire description.
Right.
Like, I'm sitting here ready to get hype about.
What he can do.
Yeah.
And you don't really get to see him talking about he has a black trigger.
We talked about Osamu more than him.
Right. I kind of feel like this could have been either written better, or you could have removed the script altogether and just put descriptions
Better
up on
imagery.
put the description up on the screen to be read.
See, I haven't seen the first 2 anime, but I have seen World Trigger, and I feel like there was just way more they could have done with that. And I've seen The God of High School, so let's see. I like him.
Just when
I
you
like his
thought that your
attitude.
favorite anime had come to the top of your list and it's gonna stay for a long time, when you conceived that your life would not be enlightened again by an artwork of such caliber, God of High School soon came knocking on everyone's door. What am I saying knocking? Breaking down the door and establishing themselves as the best anime ever. The God of High School tournament has begun, seeking out the greatest fighter among Korean high school students. All martial arts styles, weapons, means, and methods of attaining victory are permitted. The prize? One wish for anything desired by the winner. Taekwondo expert Jin Morai is invited to participate in the competition. There he befriends karate specialist Han Dai-wee and swordsman Yu Mira, who both have entered for their own personal reasons. Morai knows that no opponent will be the same and that the matches will be the most ruthless he has ever fought in his life. But instead of being worried, this prospect excites him beyond belief. A secret lies beneath the facade of a transparent test of combat prowess the tournament claims to be, one that has Korean political candidate Park Moo-jin watching every fight with expectant and hungry eyes. Morai, Dai-wee, and Mira are about to discover what it really means to become the god of high school. Number 6, The King's Avatar.
He did a little bit better. I think he needs to focus more on the actual character that's supposed to be the supreme being.
Yeah.
So people know that character is supposed
It's
to be
who
the
they're
supreme
talking
being.
about, yeah.
It's who they're supposed. That is the issue with what's going on with this.
Maybe it's because it's labeled the top 10 anime where the main character, so it's wanting you to know about the anime. I still feel like it's lacking. Like, the description is just, it's not being like, oh my gosh, I want to watch that character, like, I want to see it.
I've never seen the King's Avatar, so this will just be information for us.
The gamer god Yi Zhu
There's a pattern to genius. There's a method behind the magic. I always tell
was forced to retire out of politics. Calling it as forced retirement may be the wrong term, as he was offered a position as a training partner for the main team which he has been booted out of. That means he still gets to work, but just in the background. He was also not in the position to negotiate the deal, as it's implied that having him resign is a better course of action than to quit and have his
All I know is Overlord better be on this list.
You said non-popular anime?
I don't think Overlord's that problem. If he got War Trigger on here, he probably has Overlord. Overlord was not that popular, so.
God of High School is pretty popular.
Yes,
isn't
to
it?
me, God of High School is way more popular than
Yeah.
Overlord. So Overlord better be on here because it's the supreme being. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about.
contract bite him. Yi Zhu spent most of his days playing games and winning for his team. It's also implied that he supported his fellow gamers who are no longer in the competitive scene financially. It's difficult to get a formal job if you placed an esports gamer in your resume while approaching the prime. That's a reality that these athletes face. Yi Zhu, the god of fighting, is the only one you will most likely remember among all characters. The show did not spare any opportunity it could to put this character up to a pedestal. He has everything: skills, looks, and infamy in the game of glory. Little to no character development, just like the other characters in the story.
Is he the
Number
blonde?
5,
I guess.
Project K. K, or Project K, tells the tale of Isana Yashiro,
Right.
a high school boy thought to be one of the 7 kings, and how he gets mixed up in the world of the different clans under a false accusation of murder. It's truly an interesting story and a lovely tale, one that I would recommend watching to everyone. At its core, K is a story about finding the identity of a murderer and its implications in an ongoing war between superpowered clans. Elements of sci-fi, fantasy, and mystery are combined to make for a very appealing package. In my opinion, the first few episodes don't really explain that much, but they leave enough questions unanswered to make you keep coming back for more. I suppose it may be to give the viewer the same feeling that the protagonist, Yashiro, would get from having his daily life changed so suddenly. However, the story really picks up in the latter half, and overall was really very exciting to watch.
I feel like KK, that's how I know it, is KK. It might be K, but they had 2 Ks on the title. It started more off as a thriller, so that's why it was very, very interesting to watch, because it had that thriller-esque feel to it, like trying to figure out who this actual murderer is or whatever. And then it kind of spammed over into like an action anime whenever the clans met up and started fighting. So I think that's what helped it, because this dude is like weak or whatever, and he's trying to figure out who killed this person, even though there's a video showing that he's the one who actually did it, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes into the back half with the fighting.
Number 4, Wise Man's Grandchild.
Great. Very good, but also very, very Ikusai to the, like, to that line of, like, just Ikusai. Like, he's powerful. He comes from another world. No real story development as him being, like, a kid or whatever. And now no one can mess with him. So to me, it was like, now that we have so many of those coming out, it's going to be hard for this one to actually stand out. Where other ones have taken different things, like, you know, different routes.
The anime begins with a glimpse of a seemingly average young man leaving work. He then suddenly gets into a car accident, but instead of dying, we see him reborn in a parallel universe, on another version of Earth, where some people possess magical powers. In my opinion, this beginning gives so much room for possible storylines that could happen, so during the first episode, I paid attention to the small details about the world in case it matters in the future. To continue the plot, The boy who was mentioned in the rebirth process is called Shin Wolford. He gets reborn in the other world as a baby of a couple that has been attacked by a demon. But he survived and was found by Merlin Wolford, a famous hero in the Earlshire Kingdom, the place where Shin was found, who then decides to take him in and raise him along with the help of Melita Bowen, Merlin's partner in crime, a very powerful witch. Number 3, Plunderer.
Seen it, never watched it.
Plunderer is set in a post-apocalyptic fictional universe ruled by numbers. The worth of each individual is measured by a special feature called count that is marked somewhere on their bodies, which defines the important aspects of their lives in a number format. The real danger that the people of this realm face is when the count drops to 0. When this happens, the person will be dragged into the abyss below, which results in death. The protagonist, Hina, has a count which represents how many kilometers she has walked. When her mother gets dragged into the abyss, as per her mother's final
The reason your hair is thinning has been your shampoo? No matter what hair growth products you use, your thinning hair isn't improving. Think it's down to your genes.
wish, she sets off in search of the legendary Ace. Hina's relentless journey takes her down an unexpected path when she meets a peculiar masked knight who goes by the name of Licht Bach. The oddest thing about him besides the mask is the fact that his count shows a negative number. Plunderer has an intriguing concept with the introduction of a dystopian world and where your life is measured by numbers in a quite literal way. Plunderer will capture your attention pretty much because of the unique world it attempts to build, such as the concept of the count, which forms the base of this anime's universe. Number 2, Hagure Yusha no Aesthetica. When we watch anime that contain highly overpowered main characters, then sometimes it really ruins the story, right? Like, there's absolutely no challenge factor for the main character, and there's no tension for the reader. But depending on how this powerful main character is executed, it can sometimes turn into a very enjoyable and exciting series.
I know.
Well, here's one of the very few series that is exactly like that. Hagure Yusha no Aesthetica revolves around Asawa Akatsuki, a so-called rogue hero, who has come to his own world after defeating the Demon Lord from the fantastical world of Alizard. With him, he has brought back the Demon Lord's daughter, Miyu, and has decided to let her live with him in the peaceful human world. In the human world is an international organization called Babel, who protect people from returning to their own world.
I've never seen
While
this one or heard
Akatsuki
of
and
it.
his friends try all that they can to conceal Miyu's identity, they are found out. Akatsuki decides then to protect Miyu from the approaching dangers in order for her to live a happy life. Number 1, The Misfit of Demon King Academy.
This was a good one. I'm disappointed that we didn't get Overlord. I'm very disappointed in
I
you.
feel like there's a lot of anime that could have been on here that wasn't.
But this Misfit is dope simply because he is overpowered and he shows it, and he also not necessarily flaunts it, but he kind of like lets it be. Like, he's not trying to like hide it or anything like that. Like, he's like, I am who I say I am. Everyone else don't believe I am who I say I am. So I'm gonna show you I am who I say I am. So this one actually was a good one.
The series takes place in a Demon King Academy, which identifies and grooms their students in search of the one who could be the reincarnation of the ruthless Demon King from 2,000 years ago. The main storyline is based on a Demon King who was a worshipped tyrant and wiped out many gods and men alike over the years. He was reincarnated 2,000 years later. This brings us up to speed to where the story takes place. Anos arrives at the academy and is disappointed to see that his descendants' magic power seems to be very feeble and inexperienced. Throughout the first episode, he exhibits his unparalleled powers, which give us, the viewers, undeniable proof that he is indeed the reincarnation of the great Demon King. The Misfit of Demon King's Academy is off to a good start with a straightforward story, a compelling protagonist, and some spectacular animation that we witness in the demon effects throughout the episodes.
So, scripts could have been better at explaining who's the overpowered character, for sure. Also, there was no Overlord, which was disrespect, 100%. But this Misfits of Demon Academy is definitely good. But this Trigger one, you barely talked about. Our guy here, Kuga. You barely talked about him at all. So, he was just a friend of the person you talked the most about.
And in my opinion, while I understand God of High School being on there, we don't know like exactly how strong he is because it's still very early in the anime, right?
Yeah, you gotta finish. Yeah, I think you get to the end of it. So, right. To me, it's no. Anyways, to me, the script needed some work for shizzle.
Yeah, I not trying to be disrespectful, but I was sitting here thinking almost the whole time how it could have been done better.
Should have went to watch Mojo, man.
Yeah, I feel bad, for saying that because, everybody's got to do what everybody's got to do. But you can 100% tell it was being read and it just didn't, I didn't feel like there was feeling in it. You know what I mean? Like when I'm talking about an anime that I think you should see, I'm going to tell you about it. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of where I felt like it was lacking. It was lacking emotion and excitement. Something that says, hey, you need to check this out.
And it lacked on the characters you would need to talk about.
Yes, which I understand that they were trying to showcase the anime itself, but I feel like you went way too much into the description of the anime. And if you're talking about Supreme Beams, we need to know who it is. Like there was one I didn't even know who it was in there. I was like, so which character? And that's not even the one I'm talking about. So but I mean, it was interesting. There was some anime on there I hadn't heard of, and I'm like, okay, more so from his commentary. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll watch that, when I'm finished, catching up on My Hero. But
anyways, go ahead.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you have any videos you want us to react to, let us know. If you have anything that you want us to discuss, let us know. You can find us at all of our other channels in the description. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and until next time, we are out. Bye.